Welcome to another episode of Simplexity podcast series. I quote, "Dream is not that you see while you're sleeping. It is something that does not let you sleep." APJ Abdul Kalam, the missile man of India. Such a powerful statement. And today, some of the same statement holds good for someone who had a humble background in Gujarat, and today he is a renowned speaker, a CEO of a software consulting company, a founder of West Tech Assemblage, and he co-founded Borderless Gandhi, and also he is advisor for Australian cricket. I'm speaking none other than Nilesh Makwana. Nilesh, welcome to the podcast series. I would like to explore how the dreams can be achieved and how can we dream and achieve the dream. Over to you. Thank you, Nilesh.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Deepak. That's a very nice of you to have such introduction and a big question to start with. How dream can be achieved? uh, yeah, well, I, I'll try and bring it back to my own uh, life and journey and experiences. Uh, when I was a kid, I I wanted to join the military, uh, and I was dreaming as a child to do that. But then I didn't get the admission because of my eardrum and physical health fitness not passing. And then I wanted to become a pilot, but I wasn't good with physics and uh, mathematics and studies, and I failed 10 standard 4 times. Uh, and then I had a dream to go to London, but I didn't have a passport. I didn't know where it is, couldn't speak English. I didn't even have the 10 standard pass or no skills, whatever. Uh, I did achieve quite a few of those things. Managed to go to London, travel to 54 countries, didn't become a pilot, but I have flown with the pilots in the cockpit to many countries and landed with them and have taken off with them as a staff member working for an airline. So sometimes the dream you think of doesn't necessarily happen the way you want it, and there is a pivot and uh, challenges comes along the way, and you move around, but you continue to have a new dream, different dream, but basically you were trying to get to somewhere which you knew that your destiny or your destination is to reach some goal or arrive at some stage where you feel that I have managed to get here or done something. As long as that burning fire or desire is in you, and you stay flexible to pivot as and when time comes, but eventually you'll get there, and don't put time limits on yourself. So I think being a resilience and dedication and not giving up uh, helped me to be where I am today. And another thing I realized that you have to turn those dreams into different actions, smaller action. And if you have a smaller action, which leads to the bigger picture, then you ticking off one thing at a time, and you're giving yourself a time. So I think being a focus and not putting time pressure on yourself, staying dedicated to your vision will eventually will lead you to your dream. Now that what you thought and what you achieved could be slightly different, but ultimate goal was to get somewhere, and you will. So as long as you stay flexible uh, uh, and be satisfied with it, but not giving up on the dream is the key. And I never gave up on my dream to go around the world, travel the world, 54 countries so far, get to London, stayed there for 10 years, then moved to Australia. So everything did happen what I thought as a child. But there was a different pathway to get there.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic story, Nilesh, how you started and how you kept on doing it. And it's a very important point that it is not all the time there is a straight line to reach the goal, and we continue to do what we need, and with focus and resilience and dedication, some of the key things which you mentioned, and with a vision, we can achieve this. And
Indeed.
yeah, go ahead, Nilesh.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah.
Staying true to your vision and continuing to not give up and keep going, keep shining, and surrounding yourself with the people who could help you, and not to be afraid of asking for help. I think nobody achieves their dream by themselves. You need a people around you to help you get there.
Yes. So that brings in to very important topic you picked up on, asking for help. And during your journey, uh, how did you deal with this asking for help and trying to get help from the places where uh, we don't ask? That is one way of looking into it. Other one is, why does leaders don't dream, right? Why do leaders just be monotonous and keep doing what they're doing, but then don't dream big or don't dream to achieve big? And why don't they ask for help? So what do you think, Nilesh?
Yeah, so there's a two question: asking for help and knowing uh, when you are resourceful. Being a resourceful is the big deal. What it means is you have to uh, know your limitation. You need to know your strength, and in order to achieve your dream, uh, if you know what are the different elements are required in your projects or in your vision to achieve something, and some of those activities you could be performed really well, but then some of the other activities you might not be good at and you might need help with it. And being resourceful and having a good network around you who you can rely on to get that help, there's nothing wrong in that. I have had a lot of people around me who help me where I'm today, and without them I won't be. And in my experiences, everybody needs some help to get somewhere. If somebody says that they've been self-made, that's bullshit. Nobody's self-made. Since the time we grew up to where we are now, we had a lot of people teaching us, helping us, and getting us where we are and guiding us and everything. So nobody's self-made, right? You if you have to go back to your childhood and see how your parents and other people help you to grow up and help you to get started walking and everything. So in the business world, in the professional world, personal life, relationship wise, you need a lot of help and advice and guidance and everything. So I think those people who can hold the vision, can hold the dream, but meanwhile being resourceful and bring the team together to achieve certain goal, gets faster and bigger there. But doing everything on your own is not the way forward. And success is good when you are sharing it with others. So when you reach something great, and you achieve some goal, and then you share that with other people because those people have contributed into your success, that feels even much good and better. That it was a village which raised the kids. If the business been successful, there was a whole team behind it which made this business successful, not on your own. And then that feels even better when you are seeing a bigger picture, the community angle to the whole thing you're doing, that the whole community is required to achieve some big dream. Nothing on your own happens. Dream might be yours, but still you had other people around you who bought into your dream and help you achieve that. With regards to the second question around some leaders, why they, monitor us or they don't dream big, or, well, nothing wrong in achieving certain level and staying at that level if they are content within themselves. If the leaders are happy where they are and they have achieved, and sometimes in their personal life they might be happy, and professional life they just keeping where they are, and they don't want to go to the next stage because personally they have reached to their self-actualization or sense of belonging. This is Maslow's hierarchy of need, right? If your
Yeah.
basics are taken care, if you have had a safety needs met, your sense of belonging met, and then you want to reach to the self-actualization, you don't need to go further when you are content within yourself. But if you are not able to drive their vision and dream big on behalf of the collective team who wants to get there, and you are being a roadblock, then it's not a good idea. So if your team wants to go to the next stage and they wants to take the company to the other stage, but then you as a leader is blocking that growth, then it's not a good thing.
Right. You really helped very clearly to understand that it needs a village to bring up a child. I think this is
Mhm.
something which keep hearing when we are kids, that entire village is important, and it is not only your parents. If you are growing up in a small village, each and everyone in the village will be helpful in bringing up a kid. And also, the sweetest thing what you said is success need to be shared because it's a sweet. It's so sweet that we need to share with others. Such an noble thought, Nilesh. I know that's precisely what you did in your Terminal 4, the book which you wrote, just to share your experiences of starting from humble beginning and your journey from bicycle to business class, which is phenomenal. And I think you are one who is uh, walking the talk in that sense. And the community what you have built, be it West Tech Assemblage or Borderless Gandhi, or some of the events you are organizing and helping the migrants, especially to give back. I think you are sharing the sweet. It's just not telling, and you're doing it. Thank you for that. And for me, you have been introducing into various places, various people, something working really well for me, for my career and for my growth and for my business. Thank you, Nilesh.
No worries, Deepak. Yeah. Well, I feel my purpose is to, uh, the more I'm, in fact, people think that I'm doing it to help you or by sharing or by supporting other people to succeed. But actually, it's for my own uh, selfish reason is to that I want to feel good about myself. I want to feel that I'm doing something purposeful, meaningful. And when I'm finishing the day or finishing the year or starting a new year, then I can say that, hey, I did more than just the making money or business. And if you can achieve that status in your life early on, you are lucky because eventually at some stage everybody wants to achieve some meaning or purpose in their life that hey they are being useful to the others, and when you are useful to the others and you are able to help others, you really feel great about yourself. And
Right.
you are content within yourself, right? So in your mental health, your social health, and your relationships, spiritual health, everything becomes really great because when we are giving, that's when we are fulfilling our own needs, and everything. Uh, so it is a part of the human nature. In fact, a lot of people don't realize until later stage in life, or some realize early, that you as a human being is designed to be out there to serve the purpose. you know.
Right. Yeah. It's an important life lesson for all of us. Giving back, right? Giving back is it's such a noble thing for all of us. Eh, Starting from whatever we can, giving back to society is important, as you rightly said. And also it's satisfaction and purpose, what you are um, uh, following, and the way you are dealing with it, and the way you are processing it and presenting it. Thank you, Nilesh. The the next one is Can dreams influence decisions and actions at any state, whether they will take over us and make sure that we are not taking those decisions? Is there anything like that?
Not understood the question, Deepak.
See, when I want to dream big, and my one of my dreams it is like having 500 people in a big theater, and I'm giving my giving my keynote there. So
Mm.
for that, I need to work through it. I need to, like some of the things you said: dedication, resilience, discipline, focus,
Mm.
and vision. Some of these things I need to follow. But then any of my decisions, like in my daily life, because I have that vision, is
Mm.
it hurting someone or is it creating problem for someone else?
Yeah, well, uh, your visionary, if you look at the bigger, there is a sacrifices are made by Gandhi, for example, that his own kids disowned him, and he
Yeah.
ignored his kids, right? If you look at
Yes.
some of the successful entrepreneurs in tech sector, they might have divorces, and their personal relationship may not be good. If you look at some other businessmen who might be successful, but their health might be really not great, and uh, their health or their relationships are sacrificed. Uh, so it depends what you are willing to sacrifice at what level, and how important it is. And some artists, for example, they are willing to create art uh, and not have money and live hand to mouth, but they're satisfied with their art being displayed. They may not be commercially successful, but spiritually inside they're happy. If somebody sees their heart and appreciates that, that's their biggest thing to achieve. But financially, they may not be the greatest out there, right? So it depends what that dream means to you, and how much you're willing to sacrifice for it. and
Right.
uh, and I guess uh, if you if that's what makes you happy and that's what you require to be content within yourself, then you will have no choice but to pursue that. But
Right.
when we talk about work-life balance, I think it's more about inner balance. That if you inner happy, satisfied, and you are able to keep your physical health, spiritual health, and your relationships together, and achieving dream at the same time, keeping everybody in mind uh, along the journey, that it's not only your what you want to achieve, but what people around you wants to achieve. You keep them, but at the same time, internally, you're still happy to do that. You know, so it
Yeah.
all starts with inner conflicts which you have to deal with, and everybody's
Yes.
journey is different.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, that's precisely what I was trying to look at, because one person having big dreams and trying to be big, he should not be creating, unnecessary, what we call it as uncertainties around him for his family, friends, and businesses, what he is running. So that's precisely what I was trying to look at, Nilesh. You put it really well. Like people go through personal emotions and personal sacrifices and all that. Uh, yeah, because their dreams are bigger and all that, still they continue to pursue it, going through all the challenges.
Indeed.
Well
And
put.
some of the filmmaker I have seen, they put their houses on, sold it off, and they almost became homeless, and they
Yes.
put everything on the line to make that film, and eventually some get succeed and will become Oscar winning, or sometimes it just kills them, and they can't come back up again for many years to come. So
Yes.
it's a risk and a lottery, but at least you within yourself, even if you fail and you put everything on the line, and you're still happy that I did it, uh,
Yeah.
that's a sacrifice you made,
Yes. And Nilesh, while you also mentioned that one person cannot achieve his own dream, and as a professional, if I look at it, how do I go with taking support, like like today we have so much in social media. People just jump onto YouTube or jump onto ChatGPT or something like that, get all the information, and it's information overload. So, what is your suggestion on how do we moderate it? What should we do there?
Yeah, I think I have been learning past few years that a lot of answers are within yourself, inner, rather than asking from outside, or uh, every Instagram story or social media story is teaching you something. Everybody has advice and everybody has a quote and everybody is sharing their knowledge and expertise and everything. But I guess learning from yourself and asking questions internally, because you yourself knows the best. You have spent most time with yourself. You have uh, uh, spent good days, bad days with yourself, and you know what makes you angry, what makes you happy. You know what takes you, what inspires you. And we sometimes forget that universe is within us, the God is within us, and then all the answers are within us. But we don't sit and meditate to ask the questions to ourselves. And we want somebody else to come and tell us what we should be doing. Yeah. And yes, we do sometimes need some advice for taxation, for example, or for where to invest, maybe. There could be different advice. Yes, you did. But in your own life, what to do, how to move forward when you are stuck, many times answers should be within yourself rather than outside. So asking those questions internally and having conversation with yourself, and if you can learn to do that, that becomes very powerful way to deal with anything comes your way. And as a leader, it's very important that you are having meeting with yourself now and then, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that's an the way to look at how we can internalize ourselves and get out what is required. And yeah, like you said, you've been studying this for years now. It requires help, and it can be something like what you said, meditation and yoga, something could help them in getting better. Or wise people, they are there to help, like asking for help, something which we spoke about. Ask
Mm,
for help. There are people, knowledgeable people who can help. This really giving us the shape of uh, the concept, right? What are the benefits of dreaming, and why people don't dream, and what strategies we can use to dream. And now, coming to the last one, is tracking of the dreams. Basically, you mentioned that break down the bigger dreams into small tasks and goals, and try to track them to complete. So in just 30 minutes, I think you have laid it down in such a way that um, anyone who is willing to dream and try to take up the challenges, how is the journey can go through. So it's a phenomenal way of putting things, Nilesh.
thank you. No, I'm glad to have this conversation with you, and I've been asking myself the questions too. That what's my next dream? You know, although it's a personal dream, not professionally. Professionally, I'm quite satisfied where we are, and we are on the right path. And if we continue to hold true to our value and our way of doing things, we will continue to grow. And there is a growth strategy in place that how we're gonna double and next 5 to 10 years where we're going to be. But on a personal side, there are some dreams which I would like to achieve, and I'm working towards that. But manifesting and staying true to that long-term vision or dream, and then work and not putting pressure on yourself, because you need to stay resilient. And if you start putting too much pressure on yourself, that will demotivate you. So it's okay to take your own time, a sustainable, healthy pathway, you know.
Yeah,
And that's what I've been focusing, because health is more important. And sometimes you can't sacrifice your health or relationships over your dream, but both are important. Your dream is important, but at the same time, your health and relationships are important as well.
yeah.
You know.
That's nicely put. Nicely put. You should have dreams, but then everything is important in life. It is not one or the other. That's the right way and a very high way of concluding our conversation, Nilesh. Thanks a lot for your time. I appreciate our conversations every time. You have been a great supporter of my journey, and thank you again and again for that. Till the time next time we meet and we discuss some more of your new dreams now.
Thank you, Deepak. Nice talking to you.